Welcome to the second of this three-part series on connecting VR&E participants to registered apprenticeship. These three modules are designed to be sequential, so we hope you enjoyed the first video, Intro to Apprenticeship, which covered the basics of registered apprenticeship and the value and benefits of this career-based training model. Module 1 and this module 2, describe the registered apprenticeship system, also known as the RA system, how the RA system works, its benefits to workers, businesses, and other stakeholders, and the partners that are involved in making the system run. We also cover tools that can help vocational rehabilitation counselors connect veterans to registered apprenticeship. Module 3, the next module, describes in more detail how vocational rehabilitation counselors incorporate apprenticeship into VR&E processes for career exploration, individual written plan development, active training, and job-ready services follow-up. That module will be of particular interest to VR&E counselors, employment coordinators, and business liaisons. So again, welcome to Module 2, Connecting to Registered Apprenticeship. This module will provide a better understanding of how to build relationships with partners within the Apprenticeship Network and how to connect veterans to suitable employment and training opportunities that improve their incomes and outcomes. My name is Jessie Ettinger, and I will be leading your training module today. By the end of this session, you should have a better understanding of the following 4 topics: how registered apprenticeship programs are structured, who the RA network partners are and what their roles and responsibilities are, how to locate appropriate apprenticeship opportunities that benefit veterans, and how to ensure an appropriate match for veterans with registered apprenticeship programs. Let's kick it off with a quick overview of registered apprenticeship basics to ground us in the material for this session. As we discussed in Module 1, registered apprenticeship is a proven model of job preparation that combines paid on-the-job training, or OJT, with related instruction to progressively increase workers' skill levels and wages. It's a business-driven model that provides employers a way to recruit, train, and retain highly skilled workers. A registered apprenticeship allows employers to develop and apply industry standards to training programs, thereby increasing the productivity and quality of their workforce. As discussed in Module 1, all registered apprenticeship programs, whether they are registered with the National Apprenticeship Office or a state apprenticeship office, we'll discuss the difference later in the training, consist of 5 core components: direct employer involvement, structured, supervised, and paid on-the-job training, related training and instruction, rewards for skill gains, and a national occupational credential. Employers are the foundation of every registered apprenticeship program, and the skills needed by these employers for workforce success form the core of the model. Businesses must play an active role in building registered apprenticeship programs, and they are involved in every step of their design and execution. Every registered apprenticeship program includes structured and supervised on-the-job training, or OJT. Companies hire apprentices and provide hands-on training from an experienced mentor. This training is developed by mapping the skills, knowledge, and abilities the apprentice must learn over the course of a program to be fully proficient at the job. In order to successfully complete a registered apprenticeship program, apprentices must master a core set of competencies and document, through testing and observation, that they can perform certain tasks and have mastered specific competencies. A third component of registered apprenticeship is that apprentices receive related instruction, or classroom-style training, that complements their OJT. This instruction helps refine the technical and academic skills that apply to the job. Related instruction may be provided by a community college, a technical school, an apprenticeship training school, or by the business itself. The instruction can be provided at the school, online, or at the work site. In some instances, classroom-based related instruction is provided upfront prior to the OJT portion of the training, and in other instances, apprentices alternate their RTI with their OJT on a regular basis. The fourth component of a registered apprenticeship program is that apprentices receive increases in pay as their skills and knowledge increase. Progressive wage gains reward and motivate apprentices as they advance through training and become more productive and skilled at their job. And finally, every graduate of a registered apprenticeship program receives a nationally recognized credential referred to as a certificate of completion. This portable credential signifies that the apprentice has successfully completed the requisite training for their occupation. Many registered apprenticeship programs also offer interim industry recognized credential as apprentices master skills as part of their career pathway. And now a word on apprenticeship standards, which is a term you will hear frequently as you dive into the world of RAPs. The apprenticeship standards are the document that describe an apprenticeship program's training and education plan, and it is the official document that is submitted to the state or federal government as part of the registration process. These standards serve as the primary vehicle against which the progress and success of each apprentice is measured. The standards describe what an apprentice will learn, how the training will be structured, and how the learning and work products will be assessed. They also describe the milestones for when an apprentice is eligible for an increase in wages. Depending on the registering entity and the occupation in question, the standards themselves may or may not be available to the public, and they may or may not be written in a way that is useful to you if you're assessing occupational suitability, but they are a really great place to start. Information in the standards also provides insight into the kinds of information the RAP will track. One of the things that makes apprenticeship such a great match for veteran education benefits and VR&E is that RAPs document and maintain records about the apprentice, such as the number of hours they spend on on-the-job training, the hours they spend in the classroom, what they are learning, and any test or assessment results. So now let's talk in more detail about the structure of a registered apprenticeship program, something we covered briefly in Module 1. Apprenticeships are either defined on a time basis, a competency basis, or a mix of both. A time-based program focuses on the time spent in primary work activities for a given occupation. Time-based programs are effective if the sponsor believes skills and competencies will be learned over a specific time period. Most time-based registered apprenticeship programs require at least 2,000 hours of on-the-job training. Competency-based programs allow employers or sponsors to evaluate and determine apprentice skill attainment using a competency checklist. The length of the program is contingent on the pace at which apprentices successfully demonstrate competency and skills and knowledge through proficiency tests. A hybrid program combines the time spent in primary work activities with a task proficiency checklist, or some other format that allows the employer or sponsor to evaluate and determine skill attainment leading to mastery. Hybrid programs can be partially self-paced to allow apprentices to move through the program based on achieved proficiency milestones. Most apprenticeship programs today use a hybrid approach. All registered apprenticeship programs are regulated and overseen by either the U.S. Department of Labor's Office of Apprenticeship, OA, or a DOL recognized state apprenticeship agency, or an SAA. The type of organization that oversees a RAP is determined by the state in which the apprenticeship program is located. RAPs that exist in multiple states may have to register with both OA and at least one SAA. RAPs also receive support from one of 6 regional U.S. DOL offices. Each state has a state apprenticeship director, and in larger states, whether it's an SAA or an OA state, they often have one or more apprenticeship training representatives, or ATRs. State directors are responsible for the overall administration of registered apprenticeship, and ATRs can be very helpful partners in the process of developing registered apprenticeship programs and getting them approved. Once an apprenticeship program is approved and officially registered, these same ATRs monitor and oversee apprenticeship administration and can provide technical assistance. State apprenticeship offices are charged with several tasks. One important role they play is safeguarding the welfare of apprentices and ensuring equality of access to apprenticeship programs. Another is to provide one-on-one technical assistance to employers and partner organizations who want to develop and register apprenticeship programs. In addition, both DOL and state apprenticeship offices provide resources, such as websites that have more information about apprenticeship opportunities, active job postings, contact information for apprenticeship programs, the apprenticeship standards, information about upcoming apprenticeship events, and resources like fact sheets, videos, and manuals. A good place to start if you're interested in exploring apprenticeship is to do a web search for your state's apprenticeship website. This map shows which RAPs register with the U.S. DOL Office of Apprenticeship, those are the states in white, and which states register their programs with their state apprenticeship agency, those are the states in blue. Some states offer the option of registering with either U.S. DOL Office of Apprenticeship or the state apprenticeship agency, like California. So it's important to check on this detail when you look into finding your state and federal level apprenticeship partners. Regardless of who is the approving entity, all registered apprenticeship programs follow those same 5 core components that we discussed earlier, and they all lead to industry recognized credentials and, upon completion, to viable employment opportunities for veterans. To find connections with apprenticeship staff at the national, regional, and state level, you can use DOL's apprenticeship contact page to connect with state and federal staff. Please do not hesitate to reach out to these individuals directly about available apprenticeship opportunities for veterans, as well as to help find local partners you might want to connect with. As we already discussed, one of their main responsibilities is to safeguard the welfare of apprentices and ensure equality of access to apprenticeship programs. And that means helping you assist your veterans. Next, we're going to cover apprenticeship sponsors. Apprenticeship sponsors play a critical role in apprenticeship programs. All registered apprenticeship programs must have a sponsor, but programs are developed through partnerships. So in this next section of the presentation, we'll provide you with information about the role of the sponsors, but also more information about the partnerships that are the foundation of registered apprenticeship. An apprenticeship sponsor can be a single employer or a consortium of employers. In many states, the role of a sponsor can be played by another organizing entity, such as an industry association, workforce development board, joint labor management organization, community college, or community-based organization. Sponsors are responsible for the overall operation of the apprenticeship program. They also enter into written agreements with apprentices and submit those agreements to the registering entity. Sponsors ensure apprentices have safe training environments, that they receive all the requisite training outlined in the apprenticeship standards, and importantly, for reporting purposes, the sponsor is ultimately responsible for maintaining records on the apprentices. The other partners that work together to build an apprenticeship program and make up the broader apprenticeship ecosystem include the following. Of course, it starts with business, including the employers that hire and train apprentices. There are also apprenticeship intermediary organizations, or AIOs, a new type of organization that were created specifically to help build apprenticeship capacity in certain sectors. Apprenticeship partners also include the public workforce system, including AJCs and WIOA Title I programs, which can provide support to individuals enrolled in apprenticeship programs. There's also your state VR agency. And of course, the educational institutions, who are often the key source of classroom instruction for an apprenticeship program. There are also other partners, such as pre-apprenticeship programs, CBOs that have a workforce angle, adult education and CTE partners, just to name a few. So now let's take a closer look at each of these groups. Apprenticeship cannot exist without employers. Business partners are at the center of the development of a successful RAP. They help build apprenticeship from the ground up, and they identify the skills and knowledge that apprentices must learn. They also hire new workers or select current employees to be apprentices and provide the on-the-job learning opportunities. The core to the apprenticeship model is this supervised on-the-job training. So this employer investment is very critical. It is, and as part of their provision of structured on-the-job training, employers identify and invest in experienced mentors who are the individuals who oversee the training and watch over the apprentices as they are working on the job. In some cases, employers also provide related instruction in-house or in partnership with others. And finally, employers pay apprentices, and they pay them progressively higher wages as their skills increase. Another set of partners with whom you can connect are apprenticeship intermediary organizations, or AIOs. An AIO might be a joint labor management organization, industry association, or community-based organization that has taken a central role in developing apprenticeship opportunities. These intermediaries often work closely with local employers to establish registered apprenticeship programs, organize partners, and administer the programs. The AIO might serve as the sponsor or the trainer, but their purpose is primarily to help organize and support employers who are interested in developing apprenticeship programs but lack capacity. Intermediaries are helpful for aggregating demand for apprentices, particularly in rural areas or with small and medium-sized employers that may not have the capacity to develop an apprenticeship program on their own. Intermediaries also help employers plan and develop their occupational standards and assist with registering the apprenticeship program with USDOL and/or the state apprenticeship office. For these reasons, it is good for you to know who is playing this role in your state and how to connect with them. We have already briefly mentioned the role of the public workforce system. Two primary partners that can serve as a great resource are your local workforce development board and your local American job centers. Local workforce development boards direct federal, state, and local funding to workforce development programs. All local workforce development boards have an obligation to follow veterans' priority of service provisions and to assist veterans in making a seamless transition to employment. These local boards also oversee the delivery of workforce development services through the American Job Centers. Given the national renaissance around apprenticeship, many boards are now actively looking for ways to build or engage with apprenticeship programs that serve local workers and employers. Increasingly, workforce boards are also becoming RA sponsors. American Job Centers, or AJCs, are a resource where job seekers, including veterans, can obtain employment information, find out about career development training opportunities, and connect to these opportunities, including apprenticeship programs. At the direction of their local boards, many AJCs support job seekers in identifying and applying for pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs. Title I-B funds can also be used to support these individuals. In addition, AJCs are the home of our JVSG partners, Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialists, or DVOPs, and local veteran employment representatives, or LEAVers, who may have a key insight into the local workforce initiatives, including apprenticeships that are based out of the AJCs. Another key partner is your state vocational rehabilitation, or VR team, who operate the Title IV vocational rehabilitation program in your state. VR plays an important role in the public workforce system as they work to connect individuals with disabilities to employment opportunities with local employers and other workforce supports. State VR are well connected to the local public workforce system, and many are increasingly knowledgeable about apprenticeship opportunities as well. Currently, there are several states that are part of a national demonstration project to coordinate the use of apprenticeship programs among disabled individuals and employers. They have also assisted employers in developing new pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs and are working to make existing apprenticeship programs more accessible. Some state VR offices have also worked with employers to develop competency-based apprenticeships with multiple certifications that are not time limited. So consider state VR offices as a potential starting point because they may have connections with local apprenticeship opportunities that are suitable for individuals with a wide range of disabilities. Educational institutions are also important partners. Community colleges, alternative and adult schools, career and technical education centers, and industry associations can all provide the classroom and related training and instruction for an apprenticeship program. Many of these entities also offer apprenticeship programs administrative support, such as convening apprenticeship committee meetings, maintaining apprentice records, and in some cases, serving as a sponsor. You may also already have a relationship outside of apprenticeship with your local educational institutions, so you can leverage that to learn more about local apprenticeship opportunities. Other partners play important roles too. For instance, the VA employs Education Liaison Representatives, or ELRs, in every state to liaise with your state's approving agency or the entity that approves education and apprenticeship programs for VA benefits. ELRs can be a great source of information about registered apprenticeship programs for VA staff. We'll cover that more comprehensively in the next module. Some occupational pathways offer pre-apprenticeships that are geared to help and prepare candidates for apprenticeship. Many of these programs are focused on getting a specific population, such as women, refugees, or out-of-school youth, into a specific apprenticeship opportunity. There are even pre-apprenticeship programs for veterans. A final pathway or partner that you could look into would be your local economic development or community-based organizations that serve at the nexus of providing skilled talent to local economic sectors. Economic development offices, sector partnership, workforce CBOs, and other regional and economic development organizations might also have a line in to new apprenticeship opportunities in your region. The point of discussing all of these entities is to let you know that you might already have apprenticeship partners. The process of connecting your veterans to apprenticeship does not need to be difficult. Developing connections with partner organizations can help open doors and employment opportunities for your veterans. Successful registered apprenticeship programs are built from successful partnerships. And now for the $70,000 question. 70,000, of course, being the average annual salary of what apprentice makes upon completion of their apprenticeship. How do I find out what kinds of apprenticeship opportunities are available in my region? There are a number of tools to help you do that once you have identified some of the occupations that your career seeker would like to pursue. You might also be wondering which apprenticeship programs are suitable for someone with a wide range of service-connected disabilities. Or you might ask yourself how you should consider apprenticeship opportunities when you're developing a plan of training and services that put the veteran you are on a path to suitable employment. These are some of the questions that we hope to address in the next module. In the meantime, we're going to give you a tour of some of the resources to help you find out more about apprenticeship opportunities that are available near you. Okay, and now we're going to go on a little tour of apprenticeship.gov, which is a terrific resource maintained by the United States Department of Labor's Office of Apprenticeship. And there's lots of great information on apprenticeship.gov, both in terms of finding apprenticeship programs or apprenticeship partners, as well as just to share with partners, with the veterans that you're working with your teammates who might have questions about apprenticeship. There's a lot of good stuff here. So I'm just going to show you a couple of the things that we'd recommend that you look at, but I strongly suggest that everybody devotes a little bit of time to just poking around this site and looking for cool stuff. All right, so I'm going to start with some stuff that's specifically for veterans. So on this homepage here, if you go to Career Seekers, there is a special tab just for service members and veterans. And here there's a lot of great information that's specifically tailored to veterans, including how to use their GI benefits for VA approved apprenticeship. And this is really important, as we've talked about, and as we will talk about in the next module. The apprenticeship programs are eligible for VA educational benefits as well as VR&E. And we're working on streamlining the process for that. So we'll talk about that more in Module 3. But this is an important thing. There's this page here just for service members. In terms of finding partners or apprenticeship opportunities, I also want to draw attention to this resources tab, where there's an apprenticeship job finder and apprenticeship partner finder. So we'll start here with the partner finder because this is really relevant to what we've just talked about today. So I'm located in Portland, Oregon, so I'm going to put in some information here. And I'm looking for partners here in Portland in terms of finding some new partners. So I'm going to look up Portland, I'm going to search, and here what I find. So here's the information for the State Apprenticeship Agency. So that's really great. There's also, here's the local workforce board, and here's a hospital that looks like they might have some apprenticeship opportunities and some other information. So that's really exciting. This is a great place to find partners if you are really starting at square one. Also, of course, suggest reaching out to the partners you already have in your network, but just in case you wanted to find folks, this is a great way to do it. Another thing that may or may not work, depending on where you are, is this apprenticeship job finder. And here there are opportunities to look for apprenticeship opportunities. So here are some popular listings from worldwide, but there are, as you can see, this is a place where you can look up apprenticeship programs. And when you're doing this, one thing to note is that you can find both programs, so you can look for the actual apprenticeship sponsors under this tab, or you can find jobs that are listed here. And not all of the jobs listed here are actual registered apprenticeship programs, but there are a lot in here and a lot of programs that are also apprenticeship related in that there's some earn and learn involved. So this is apprenticeship.gov. Again, I think the best way to get to know this site is to navigate it on your own and just set aside some time to poke around. Also very strongly suggest that you look for your state's apprenticeship website, where they might also have more resources specific to your state, as well as specific to the opportunities available in your state. So this is apprenticeship.gov, and I hope you get a chance to look around. Another place to search for apprenticeship opportunities is the DoD SkillBridge. The DoD SkillBridge program allows for service members to gain civilian work experience through industry training, apprenticeships, or internships during the last 180 days of service. It also connects service members with industry partners in real-world job experiences. Separating service members can be granted up to 180 days of permissive duty to focus solely on training full-time with an approved industry partner after a unit commander provides written authorization and approval. SkillBridge sites are usually associated with military installations, and you can search for opportunities by location by selecting SkillBridge locations on their website. An important role that you play is ensuring that the veterans you work with are knowledgeable and informed about the opportunities available to them, including apprenticeship, and that they are finding suitable and sustainable employment. In Module 3, we will cover how considering apprenticeship opportunities fits within VR&E's processes for developing a plan and assessing occupational suitability. Here, we would like to briefly discuss the occupational fit and the fit to this particular training model, which is registered apprenticeship. So obviously, a primary concern is going to be finding suitable employment. Apprenticeships, especially over the last few years, have expanded into new sectors and occupations. So we really encourage you, after a veteran has selected an occupation to pursue, to see if there are apprenticeship opportunities within that sector or within that occupation. So there's a lot of new programs. It's worth taking a look. And of course, there are so many great opportunities within the skilled trades. And again, here, we wouldn't want anyone to discount the opportunities that are available in skilled trades because one, they're really great opportunities with a lot of earning potential. And two, a lot of these programs can make accommodations for individuals with certain kinds of disabilities. So it's worth not discounting them right away. And then the last thing we wanted to talk about is the fit with the apprenticeship training model itself. So if you have a veteran who's expressing that they don't want to go back to school, or that they learn best by doing, or that they'd like to start earning an income right away, thinking about different apprenticeship opportunities might be the way to go. As with any decisions, veterans and their assigned staff members should use data and information to guide that decision about whether it's a good fit. In holding these discussions with veterans, there are usually 5 primary questions that staff can use to guide these discussions with veterans and also help guide their research. So to start with, which industries or employers employ people in apprenticeable occupations? Where geographically are the apprenticeship opportunities? And which ones match the needs of the veteran? What are the existing entry requirements for the apprenticeship program, and does the veteran meet those requirements? So, entry level requirements could be like an assessment or a test score, demonstrating a portfolio of work that's relevant, or having some entry level credentials that would make them ready to go on the first day. There's also, you need to consider the physical demands of the occupation and if they're compatible with the veteran's service-connected or non-service connected disabilities. Another thing to look at is whether the earning potential meets the veteran's expectation at the entry, middle, and journey level. What about other labor market information that you can use to help the veteran? So in terms of finding out more information, a lot of search engines such as Indeed allow you to search for apprenticeship opportunities. You can also find apprenticeship opportunities on RSA's Career Index. And of course, as was covered in previous slides, you can look at apprenticeship.gov and in a lot of cases on your state apprenticeship website. So there are a wide variety of labor market information tools that you have available to you to ensure that veterans are connected to suitable employment through their apprenticeship experience. In Module 3, we'll go into more detail about staff processes and paperwork specific to the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program and how it relates to registered apprenticeship. Please join us for our next training, which is entitled Registered Apprenticeship for VR&E. It will cover examples of how to apply Chapter 31 benefits to a veteran pursuing apprenticeship, how to understand and incorporate apprenticeship opportunities into the VR&E customer flow, such as the development of the individual written plan, supporting the veteran while they're in their period of active training, and what you would do during the job ready services period after they had completed training. And we're really looking forward to exploring this next module with you, so we hope to see you there, and we thank you for your participation today.